It's great to be building with you again, Diamond. I know technology is tough even for me, but once you've done some time, away from home and you come back and everything's so fast paced, it really takes time to catch back up. So I appreciate you getting on with us. Just all the time.
You and I had to work this out. But I want to make sure that they credit you for the work you had to put in to get me to press the right buttons and do what I was doing. Especially when I was in my own zone, you know what I mean? And laid back, I was actually knocked and had an issue. You helped me through that, waited. So I'm waking up.
Yeah, no, that's a piece, my brother. It's beautiful to have you here. Those of you that are watching, this week is the 26th year anniversary of FuQuan's false incarceration. He was wrongfully convicted for a murder that he had nothing to do with. And, we're working on his freedom. We're working on collecting recommendation letters from the community. But most importantly, we want to hear from the stories from behind the wall of the brotherhoods that he's built with different people like yourself, Diamond, also known as Darrell Jones. We interviewed Sean Ellis earlier this week. So just want to be able to give you the opportunity to speak about your own personal experience with Fu. But before we get into that, for the people that don't know who Darrell Jones is, can you introduce yourself for us, brother?
Well, I don't want to have an introduction that's going to go back to where I was. If I go back where I was, meaning the introduction the community always expects from us is that I'm Darrell Jones. I was in prison for 32 years. This is my struggle. That's not what we're talking about today, right? But that's something you can Google. But that is who I am in terms of like how we get recognized. But I'm Darrell Jones, individual, as my brother Rickey McGee is, right? We're individuals. There's too many stories about us doing that. I don't really want to do that. You know what I mean? They either know or they don't. And if you don't know, that's the purpose of our movement. Not in my name over there, right? That's the purpose of that. You know what I mean? That was the purpose of that, because if you don't know we're gone and we're away, what does that say? That says that's going to continue. You don't even know we exist, so how are you going to help us? We're just going to keep telling our stories for free most of the time, you know what I mean? And doing the same thing. So we're going to leave it at that for that, Jack. I
want to get to hear you. Well,
I want to get to Fu out here. I want to get him out here.
Yeah. Now I hear you. We're going to get to Fu for sure. I just want to give a little background on who you are. You've done some incredible things during your time, and you're doing even greater things now. We tune in to Bump That Radio.
Yeah, appreciate that.
And you're doing
something from nothing.
Thing. Right. Yo, you're doing your thing. I love to tune in on Sundays for the ladies, all the old school slow jams while I'm cooking Sunday dinner. Get to hear you, and you got that smooth voice. So, if you don't know, tune in to Bump That radio.com.
That's nice.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yes. So not sure if we're going to be able to get Fu live today or not.
Right.
But want to just start off with you. If you can just tell us your first time meeting Fu and what was it about him that kept that relationship going?
That's a good question. And if someone asks me the first time, the only first times I remember people is an experience of something probably not good when it's in prison if it's the first time. Fu was like a lifetime because we lived every day once we met. So I don't put it like the first time. Somewhere, I thought it was 99 when Fu came in, you know what I mean? And it was Rickey McGee then, and it was different situations. A younger dude, just like when I came in, a younger dude, but he was different, you know what I mean? Being different and people not accepting different or understanding that you're different. I know difference. He was different. He was already gonna be, FuQuan. He was going to be honorable. He was going to be all that. That was destined for him. So I just remember the experience of first meeting him and knowing that he was acceptable to getting information. That'd be my first meeting of him, like really meeting him. Like he was acceptable of getting information. Like, yo, y'all got information over there? I'm on that. Right. And I can expound on that. So that's my first meeting with him, that he was, because that's not the environment we was in. He wasn't in the gym shooting ball. I don't remember us ever playing ball together. I'm going to say this because he'll try to correct that. I do remember trying to get on the baseball field. I don't do sports, right? I'm the fill-in guy. Like, everybody's there, and Fu would come and we make jokes about it. But other than that, we wasn't in the gym. We wasn't on the baseball. We wasn't lifting weights. You know what I mean? We wasn't doing none of that. We was in the library, checking the policies, keeping these animals in check that was trying to check us, that means was controlling our lives and trying to say something about what was happening to us. That's how I met Fu. in the middle of that work and doing that work, and him being right on point to be like, yo, I could do that work too.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I can expound on that work. It's not about who created it. It often comes across that way. It should. You know what I mean? Nobody gets mad with the Quran, the Bible, or anything else when they say, oh, I created this. And it goes down the line. Then you say what Moses did. You keep going down the line, right? Then we say what Malcolm did and Martin did or whoever. No one ever expects any of us that's near each other to be anything other than what the other person is already being. We won't let nobody be anything. You know what I mean? So I say that to say with Fu, he was ready to be. So his value is different. You know what I mean? You can go. We're going to get into it because you don't want to go. I'm saying my idea and the vision that you have and the vision that we know, and the truth is, it's a waste of time in a society like this for him to be there.
Right.
That's what's annoying to me. It's a waste of time for him to be there, right? It's a proven fact. His value of what's been done in the prison versus what's being done out here now by some of the people that they're even giving funding to do it was already done, was already created, was stolen, imitated, and it's fraud. And we've been doing that in our community so long that he's the truth. So why can't we get to the truth? Then somebody can do this thing you're doing. You know, I say that on my Facebook. Somebody can come on and say, hey, I want to talk to them brothers or talk to these people about if they really think they know. You know, you understand? The professors, the best of the best, come on, do that. And then Jackie, you know how to do this? No one's hiding from that. You know what I mean? News sources, everybody come on, let's talk about it. We got to get a group that's going to talk about it. When we talk about it, we're going to be talking about FuQuan, Jack. That's what I know of meeting FuQuan, no different than M1. There are certain people, right, that was within our circumference that were actually valuable, and we knew each other's value. And that's one of the things that's going to matter out here. Nobody thinks anybody else is valuable. Here, it's just like in the Bible. Here, real talk, it is no man's a prophet in his own land. You understand? Is that coming across on my phone as well?
What, the comments?
No, I'm getting messages. Me and you blocked them, and I'm like, no matter what, I'm trying to quiet it. So anyway, right? And when my phone does messages, like a little duck quacking or something, so it's annoying.
Oh, okay.
But
That's
nonetheless, you know, it's urgent. Like, if we're going to talk about something by design, that's what our newspapers are doing. They regurgitate everything about us. Another innocent dude will come out, and he'll sound like my case, but he'll be the new star of that moment. And then he'll get on every show, and he'll go on, and you'll just keep doing that, and boom, we'll be the highlight. We'll be the light. You know what I mean? But the information won't mean anything because they won't accept the information. He has something else valuable that you need, that I need, that we had collectively. It's like saying we would call ourselves, in the creation was the strongest link, our most valuable thing, right? That was the creation of it. And the idea was, I just thought this concept that if people keep saying the weakest link breaks the chain, then let's not duplicate that ish ever again. You know what I mean? Let's just make the strongest link and only make the strongest link, since we know there is a weak link. We did that among ourselves, right? So we created one link that we considered the strongest link, which meant bringing in the community, bringing in the legislators, people before they were ever who they appear to be now. Lots of things went on. And I'm going, this is the only truth, and he's involved in that truth that nobody wants to get to. Isn't that ironic, right? In most places, you want to get to the truth. People would rather emulate a FuQuan. You understand that? I wasn't even hearing respect to all gods and earths and the brothers that brought FuQuan closer to that. But him, Sai, and that wasn't no philosophy. You understand that? That was their knowledge. They brought in a group of brothers with that. You understand that? And FuQuan, if you don't, let me put it this way, maybe this will be helpful. If I could get the people that got love for me, the people that I vibe with, the people that give a damn, or the people that just hear and be like, I don't like the dude, but he makes sense. Cool. And then if I could get the haters, we have a whole bunch more. Hate for no reason, but we'll have a whole bunch more. If we could do that, right, and put that energy on this, because too late to get me out, I cried from there. We wrote all kind of letters. We did all kind of things. I protested from in there, suffered in there. Nobody was coming to get me. So now I'm home, and it's not necessarily to come and get me. I see somebody we should come and get. And I'm trying to Christmas addicts on this. I'll take the first shot. I'll open my mouth. I'll say some things. I'll present some things. And like Christmas addicts, I'll take the first shot on this revolution for him. See, it's simple math to me. I don't want to get on this ish and gotta say something to my people because I talk like I talk, and always have to sing the national anthem behind that. You understand that? I'm talking about FuQuan, but I gotta also throw in some statistics and some words. I gotta elongate some shit like they don't understand. You understand. You see free FuQuan. You see a brother innocent saying free FuQuan. You see Sean Ellis, another brother, saying free FuQuan. You deal with us in various segments. If we come out, we'll hit your newspapers and be the picture you'll actually use, right? You'll say, innocent men, you'll blow it up and make your stories and everything. Then we come and say, hey, I'm gonna have Jackie contact you, Channel 4. We need to talk to you collectively. We need one big news meeting with you on what you're getting wrong. Then everybody runs and hides, right? Because now we wasn't trying to get to all that. We wasn't trying to get to, I wasn't really trying to change nothing for you Negroes now. We was keeping the stories going. Now this Negro's coming with this do your homework media and bump that radio, and he's putting stuff and exposing it, and don't worry about it, because we're gonna have, you're gonna help FuQuan, we're gonna have the same Negroes calling Facebook and everything else. Hey, can you shut them down? They're telling the truth over there. While everybody else, kids is holding up guns and showing you pictures of mass shootings and fancy cars and women undressed, all that shit's cool. But this shit is bothering people. Well, we keep hitting them with it. We'll send this video to every news station and say, an innocent man that you did not help. My help came from WBH. You understand that? Shout out to Jennifer McKim, students there, and WBUR. Bruce Gellam came from people that came to see me. You know what I mean? The man I called my dad, Reverend William A. Barry, the Jesuit community. You understand that? My support followed up with Minister Don and Minister Randy. When it was support time for me, that was there. You dig what I'm saying? Dickinson was there. Okay, cool. If I was worth getting home, Sean was worth being home, and we're innocent. You know what I mean? And we who we are. Damn, we should know best when one of us is still there. We should know. If we don't know nothing else, we know what. I'm over animated with that because I get into my own zone, but we are him. I leave prison, I leave him. I know him better than I know some of my own family. I lived with him. I woke up with him. I don't have to question him, Mac, and various brothers that I really got love for, had love for me. Hey, tomorrow can I count on them if this country like your country was falling apart? Who got your back in war and what life and what risk? I didn't have to do that with none of my brothers. We didn't have to do that. It was till we got out here and got a dose of this sickness out here that's like, oh shit, there's a line, like everybody go independent. Me, you, the next person out here right now today, none of us are gonna make it on our independent. I'm not lowering myself, I'm bad MF on my own. I'm gonna go on my own. Obviously, I'm doing this on my own, whether nobody supported me or not. Nobody supported me getting out. I still do it anyway. I'm gonna pop up anyway. I create something every day anyway. I just stay out the way, but I'm in the way if that's the problem. He should be home. We should be saying that more, right? There's no reward for me totally without him. That's a failure, actually. That's like being in a war and being a real Vietnam vet and being like, I escaped. We got away. You see what I'm saying? Or the slaves with Harriet Tubman, her just like, whoo, I got them out. That's it. I don't want to be of the brand that does that. I want to be of the brand that says, question this truth, decide, and then say, innocent men are calling for us to look at that. And then do the homework. Then do the homework. If you don't agree, do the homework. It's because of fool we're not talking about his case right now, right? Because it's the time. But if someone can go to jail, you know how to look that up. Take a little time off of Charleston White, who's playing everybody, and pay attention to what's really happening, and then send those Charleston Whites over here, and we'll get to how they really got you. Let's get to some real issue over here. It ain't free FuQuan because we on here pleading. I don't believe, Jackie. You understand that? That we on here just to say, hey, a brother over here pleading. No one wants to hear a plea anyway. In this time in the country, we didn't come in this pleading. We're telling you that there's an intimate fight going on to bring my brother home, and we got power too. You know what I mean?
So when you talk about Fu, I just want to be very clear with anyone that may not know who he is. And the point of the Free FuQuan campaign is to really build his digital resume. So FuQuan is a wrongfully convicted man, but he's special. He's different, as you mentioned, because he's accomplished so much without looking for any attention for it. He does it out of the goodness of his heart. So I want you to highlight some of the projects that you guys worked on. And I know one of the ones that you did in OCCC is the teen empowerment behind the wall, Voices Behind the Wall.
Yeah.
That was so powerful. And I know Fu was pretty young at the time, but you led that group. You brought all of these men together, and that was something that was turned into a curriculum where they were teaching. So they go in, you know, a lot of people from the outside community come into the prisons to extract information from you all and then go teach it in curriculums and doing other things. Can you build on that experience and Fu's role and how you and him work together to bring that about with teen empowerment?
You know, the sad part about that is that that was a step, you know, historical rather, right?
Mm-hmm.
Extremely historical because it hadn't been done, right? And it hadn't been done by a bunch of people that were considered all killers. I was innocently sitting there, Fu's in it innocently, you know what I mean, Mac, we're all there. But the point is, there are men that'll just tell you I did it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing my time, this is what it is. But it was all us lifers, right? And what I believe are just men, serious dudes, you know what I mean? And the opportunity for next, dudes have forgot their own work. I want to get into that. That leads to why we did this. It's one of those things where, you know, you were talking about, and I was actually having it from that. These are CDs, right? That Voices Behind the Wall, those are CDs, right? I should have got my nails done if I knew I was going to do this. You know, ladies, come on, I can't be bad boy good talk doing the show and not doing that. But nonetheless, right? This right here is what people talk about. They know that, right? Voices Behind the Wall. And, you know, it was enough for some brothers that did this from prison to be able to draw thousands of people to it, meaning that they had to give them the Strand Theater to air this and do all these things. Peace to you, Wiz, right? You understand that to air to do all these things, right? And that video not only brought attention to like, yo, our worth, but it also showed that we could reach out and help. And it helped so much. Children went like a class off of that. It has a curriculum. It's not just a CD. It has a curriculum book with it that went to the schools all over. It was used in the schools. We moved on to the next projects, the next things we thought we could help. It was for the community to be able to say that was valuable. Can you all recreate that? But we were fighting a system that they weren't fighting. And that system was the one that they write about every day in our newspapers. And that's why I'm challenging newspapers. Because I'm saying, do your homework, media, versus the homework they did. They didn't do any homework. They wrote some good stories. They took some pieces of our lives, but they didn't do the homework on that, right? Because all of that was fought against, and we still created it. Fu went from that. When we were doing Voices Behind the Wall, sometimes I'll forget, maybe he'll forget. But after that, there was a big incident, made the newspapers and everything. I have all the transcripts. That's why I'm the threat to so-called leaders and different people. I have the facts. They have a lot of talk, right? This thing that he did was powerful. Not only helped kids, but they took me and threw me in a hole and a whole bunch of things, you know what I mean, whatever it was. And that was to stop the project. Like, they made that video, and now the community's using it, and they opened up a Strand Theater. This is all over schools. Darrell Jones was down with it, and his squad, and their squad. And, you know, they were so tuned into that. Like, we're going to stop you, Negro. So they made me Vamu. And Vamu, however they say that, right? And then when they did that, though, my brothers, it was a decision. Some tried to sell us out. Who could talk on that, right? But people forget after that, made this one. Evolution of a Bully. Evolution of a Bully. No one remembers that. After that was made the Evolution of a Bully. Dickinson knows, my brother Dickinson, how you doing? Minister Randy, how you doing? Tell him about the evolution of a bully, somebody. Because even when I went down, it was God ordained. Fu maintained that. See, what he is a good translator, right? So I'm gonna show you one of his talents that the world would need.
Please.
I'm gonna use a Trump. I hope that don't bother your platform, but on mine, I'm saying whoever. But I'm gonna use a Trump. Trump is a personality of black, white, and everything that's trying to get over, right? When all you know is get over and stay ahead getting over. Assets, what you got. That's all you are. Fu, when we were doing this evolution of a bully and all these things, right? Fu's a good translator. I'm animated sometimes because I get the vision and I don't get no space with me and God. That's between me and my God. But I don't get no space to be like, yeah, get to that and work on that about 6 months, write that up and do all that. I literally get a vision, like when it says where there's no vision, the people perish. I got a gift of vision. I guess my gift of playing ball, being a famous rapper, anything else smooth, the best skater, ladies, the most worked out, all that shit, none of me. But that vision, I get that, right? And we're able to work with that. And then other people get visions from that vision that they grow on. Who took that vision, he could translate it to the brothers who even didn't want to hear that, right? Nobody wants nobody to be a prophet in their own land. That's why I keep saying that. Do you understand that? If you try to be great where you are around the people that you already have around you and realize you haven't been great, then you'll look at that Bible verse and you'll say, no man's a prophet in his own land. That was from Jesus, because when Jesus traveled this whole world, right, they were respecting him as Jesus. Even the Muslims say, even if you say he's a prophet or whatever you say he is, you know Jesus, right? You know he's happening at that time. But every time he went back home where he was born, that manger and all that, and you know what they would say? Oh, that's the carpenter's son. He couldn't be no more. Fool's a great translator, because when some people don't want to hear me or don't like the way I articulate it, he can do the same exact thing in the most humblest way. And it works for you. It works for you. And if it works for you, that's cool with me. For the people that take it how I deliver it, that's cool with me. Long as we get it done. If I get 5 and you get 1,000 of you to listen, I know the vision, I know the spirit, I know it went. Maybe it wasn't for me to actually hold it. It's a baton to me anyway. I had to pass it all my life. I'm gonna pass it again, right? FuQuan was able to do that. Why aren't we talking about that? Why ain't that played at the State House? You know, I have a friend, I believe Frank, right? You know what I mean? Senator Jamie Eldridge. I like to send out a plea to Senator Jamie Eldridge. I mean, they've shown videos everywhere else. Why don't we sit down and you and I present at that State House to our leaders and various people the evolution of a bully, and just talk about how that happened, because that is more prisoners, gang members, and everybody playing both roles. The roles of teachers. See, they were educated in a classroom with suits on. They gave us all the material, everything. They couldn't win. I was beating them at every level. These brothers, suits came in for it and everything. Our whole production. And rather than hear about that, even in our plights now, rather than hear about a FuQuan or me or Sean, whoever you don't want to hear about, Steve Pina, anybody, rather than hear about any of that, you'd rather let Charleston White get rich and go to his comedy shows, because this ain't funny. This reminds you of one of your sons or your daughters, somebody you lost. So we never want to deal with our pain.
Right.
Any part of my pain, you don't leave the pain behind, or I'm never right. How the hell do we come home and say we all right if we was brothers? Unless that was a bunch of phony-ish. How do I come home and every time anybody asks me about FuQuan or anything I can do, even when I ain't dealing with anybody, right? Even when I'm in my own segment of doing whatever I'm doing, even when I'm saying I can say his name. I do things you and I know, you know what I mean? I take FuQuan on exotic trips I go on, just his shirt and hang them from balconies. You understand that? I walk around under the cities where people be like, don't even know. I'm not doing it. I know there's no profit in the land for me. You understand that? But if you can't be a prophet in your land, let that prophet free and hit the rest of the world. I guarantee you'll do some Jesus work. That's the point. That's the moral.
Yeah.
That's what you need out here. You know what I mean? That's what you need. Somebody that's like gonna tell you what it is and do the work. He ain't gonna hurt nobody. Go check his prison record. You've been having him in jail, go check his prison record. Go check his violence record. Nobody brings that up.
Never. He's never gotten into a fight. He's never gotten into any issues.
Why? Now, why would you put him around the worst of the worst, if you say that, right? A lot of innocent in there, right? Why would you put him in a lot of brothers that changed in there too, right? But why would you put him around that? What was it, a death penalty? He was supposed to never have no worth? That's what people don't understand about Massachusetts. It's a fraud. So I want to make sure I'm clear on this to any legislator that challenges me to this. You pride yourselves on the fact of saying there's no death penalty in Massachusetts. I remember all the fights for it, and I was going, yeah, this natural life seems worse, right? Now, I might sound crazy, but I'd be like, damn, 10 years for that 20 years of suffering, I might have been already gone, and y'all have been proved wrong, and my family can eat off the money. That's how I saw it, whatever, right? But I go, this natural life thing you're doing, you actually throwing me on the cross and saying, here's a mirror, now watch yourself die. And we're going to give you some visitors while you're dying for the rest of your life until you die, but you're not leaving this place. How is that not the death penalty? That's worse. And he's living that. You understand that? When you give someone natural life, you're telling them they're not leaving there.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. So what do we have against the brother? What did he ever do to the community? Let's rise up the person that says, hey, he hurt me enough. I never see him home. Because I know a lot of people. Matter of fact, let me just throw this in. I think they just let one of Charlie Manson's ladies go. And she's on the news telling you on her parole now, no matter if it was 40 years, whatever it was, he has natural life, no number. I had no number. People don't understand. You have no number. There is no, damn, about 40 years, I'll do that. Right? You can get ready, you can prepare. Everything for him is cut off. It's built by him. The program's built by him. Why are they built by him? The ones that are forwarding, I said he can run with a baton. The ones that are there are forwarding programs, helping your kids in the community, talking to them. The brothers you call gang members, the bad guys from all of your blocks that are shooting now, they're part of his program. Mm-hmm. They're doing something together, right? Them dudes that already paid the consequences. Fu is in there for natural life. Set that record straight all the time. You understand that? There's no parole.
Right.
So if you guys don't say nothing, we don't do anything, that means 40 years, he could be there 50 years, and still there's no number for him. That doesn't make sense. What did he do to deserve that? I want to talk to the passion of those that want to be passionate. I'm being calm about it. What did he do to deserve that? Right? Nobody said that for me. I'm asking you, what did he do to deserve that? Escort your community, see your community, and say to your community, hey, FuQuan, I remember him. He was robbing my mother. He did something to me. My brother's not alive. You understand that? Right? That your community is saying, because it seems like many spectrums of that community is not only talking to him, dealing with him. A lot of things are being written by him. Bills have been passed that he put together, right? If he's doing what your legislators are doing, he's doing what your brothers won't do, right? And he ain't harming nobody. Why wouldn't you want that in your world that you're wrong about? Right. That you got an individual that shouldn't be there, period. In your world that you're wrong about. Why wouldn't you want that good, though? Why wouldn't you want to say, bring them on home, right? Why wouldn't you be governor enough or somebody enough in the court system to be like, yo, the efforts and works that he's done, just those. And he did them without my help and against the people that's supposed to be watching him. Man, that dude serves more for the community than he ever will serve in this prison. And he's going to keep doing that till he dies. Right. And in fact, we wouldn't be running this prison if he didn't bring a bunch of these brothers together. You'd be having riots and fights with each other. We just had fresh shootings. Anybody saying that? See, nobody wants him to be the prophet or nothing like that. Nobody wants to say, yo, damn, my boy from over here, my boy from over there, they all deal with him. He's a conduit to something, right? If somebody's at that door blocking that, like, yo, we didn't want that first one there, we want that next one there. We do not want a group of them there. We damn sure don't want them talking about each other, talking with each other, because the days they start doing that, stop being a story, they're going to be a reality. And reality is hard. So yeah, free FuQuan. No one on here doesn't understand the message. That message is clear. Not next week, next month. Go call somebody. Say not in your name. If you don't know him, and you don't know anything about FuQuan, nothing wrong with calling up your governor or hitting somewhere or getting a bunch of the signs and saying not in my name. He may be there with the people that feel like that, cool. Put that not in my name campaign back up there and tell them, if you're saying he ain't in there in my name, let it be known. You know what I mean? Let it fall somewhere like the jury did and got it wrong. My jurors got it wrong. I had 12 white jurors. They got it wrong, right? And one didn't want to die with it. She came forward and said, basically saying that was a nigga, right? She didn't die with it. God's going to come back for them the same way. Truth's going to reveal anyway. When it reveals late, none of your accolades or awards and all this shit I get and anybody else gets, that stuff goes in a closet, man. I don't look at that every day. I bring them out because they have to be brought out. He don't even bring them out. He's a part of those. When I talk about winning this award and that award, he was a part of my projects. That's not me on every video by my damn self. You understand that? I can't press CDs from the prison, right? So those are necessary.
So to just highlight your point, FuQuan has definitely squashed so much beef even till this day, where there's things happening in the prison. He's making it easier for those that work in the prison to
project. Harriet Tubman Project, right? Don't matter if the vision's there, what Harriet carried it out, right? Let's look at the project. Know your smoke. Are these things flying in your community and you hearing about them, but you're not seeing the brother that done it?
If you would like to FuQuan just called in, so I'm gonna have him join the conversation.
Okay, great. And I'm waking up. Pardon me.
I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm building with Diamond right now. We're on the live. If you want to just tap in, we didn't play any recording from you yet. So if you want to just tap in and just build about your relationship with Diamond's just building about how your contribution to society is so grand, and like we really need to get you out of there because you're really a pioneer from the inside out. But if you want to just say peace to Diamond, he can hear you now.
Nah, peace. Definitely, you know, Diamond is one of the few figures that I encountered in my journey, not just in prison, but in life, that knows how to provoke me in ways that elevate me into the next level of my own development. Because Donna knows, like, I was a young brother coming up in a system that I just had my own lane. I got my own individual way of moving. And a lot of people get intimidated by that because I don't concede to nothing that can't be validated. I'm self-made. But one thing I do is listen, you know what I mean? But Diamond had his own lane as well, and I respected that he was on his demonstration, you know, reaching out into the community, organizing in magazines. And that always intrigued me because I was doing it with the music. So when I really got with him as a brother, man, he challenged me in a way that not too many individuals just generally in my life have, you know what I mean? And because of that, he will always be, you know, a fixture in my history, a fixture in my life. And his brotherhood is valued because of that, because it wasn't that I needed him for anything, but that push, you know what I mean? We never asked each other for canteen. We never asked each other for anything outside of just pushing each other. And I respect him immensely for that, because that's the single thing that no one really offered was the push. And he offered that push to me when I needed it the most. So I appreciate him profoundly for that.
Yo, I not only appreciate you, it's good to hear you there, right? I learned, Fu, the same thing we talk about, man. We don't have anything left to validate us but us, right? And that's all we have left. Everybody else is going to have an assumption of some idea of us, right? What you've done, you've done. And what people should honor more is that you did way more, and you could learn way more, and you can grab the baton and do way more because you could handle way more. That's the difference in him. He was built for that. Because if someone else looks at it and ever told you he's arrogant, the way Darrell says it, he knows it all and all that shit right there, you got to go through all that to get to what I do know. Fu went through all of that. M went through all of that, but I've never not been the way I am. And he's never not been receptive, right? And then once Fu was receptive, it was there. I wasn't with Fu. I was in holes, and Fu could hold it down and build it and add a whole new thing. You understand that? I couldn't translate to half of the young dudes. They're gods, and they're not hearing my translation. They're in the nation. They're not hearing my translation. They're hearing M. They're hearing my brothers who's translating like, yo, this is what he's really saying. Because they can tolerate the way I'm delivering. They were never concerned with the delivery. This is not that Fu. This is not this thing they got out here, Uber Eats and shit, where you drop it, you start complaining that the dude brought you food. I guarantee you, Uber Eats, we can order some shit right now and drop it off next month to the prison. And anybody in prison, and ain't nobody there gonna be like, I got something from Uber Eats or McDonald's. Yeah, but that's just about a month old. They're gonna figure that out. We're getting that. Out here, you can't really offer. I say that to say, when me and Fu started this, I want to bring up something, Fu, to say, we helped and built damn near a label and put people on in the music game, put them in front of people in the music game, and we did that through an electric socket. You heard, Fu?
Yeah.
Through a socket.
I know.
In a hole. Meaning we're talking through the socket that you plug your phone in, building a label, building people and putting them on. Meaning making shows for them, putting them on shows or trying to connect them to people. We're doing that through a socket. We started building from a socket. This is the easy part. So why they holding them? Why they disconnecting that socket? You are what you are, Fu. That's what it comes to. Like, the truth is, we could be on here 90 hours tomorrow. I could go on whether they want to hear me or not. I'm validating that you are what you are. Everything they said I wasn't, or this person wasn't, or whoever, you are what you are. We ain't talking about me now. We're talking about Fu. I'm home. I'm quite comfortable in it, by myself or not. My brother, I'm talking to him on the phone. I'm tired of talking to him on the phone. Somebody's calling him home. He's got a mother out here. You know, I didn't make it home to none of mine. How about this, Fu? How about this plea? This should be enough, bro. They know your works. If they want to see his works, I'll be kind. Go look at your community. Go look at some of the things done in your community. Then go read those articles and look at certain things and then find him not in it. How about that? Find him not in it. Your leaders are hosting something, go find him not in it from the State House on. He's in it, right? Of his own. I've been out of prison for a second here, right? Of his own. He's in it. Don't do to him what you did to me or what you did to Sean. You can give us all the fame in the world, but inside the same human being is walking around. We know the truth, right? Can't be what you're not. He is what he is, right? Got some powerful stuff, got some powerful stuff to do, and doing it while we're doing this video. He's gonna get off this video and go right back to work anyway, work that nobody knows he's doing.
He just came from work too.
That's what he's going to do. That's who he is. What else we talking about? Bro, you ready to come home? Tell the people you ready to come home. You tell them. You tell them. Tell them I'm ready to come home. I wish I had the opportunity when I was in there to be. Tell them you ready to come home. And for when I'm on here right now, bro, when I wouldn't get on here like, yo, I just woke up afterwards, I'm doing it to Jackie, it's you. Tell them why you should come home. No reasons. Tell them you should come home. I want to clip it up.
Yeah.
I want to clip it up. I want you to tell them.
Appreciate you.
No. I want to hear your voice. If I die tomorrow, I want somebody to be able to clip me this part that he told you. See, I could have died in there and I was telling them. I made it home to keep telling them. They don't want to hear this shit. But, excuse my language. But I'm asking you to say, I want to come home. I'm ready to come home. I should be home. I want to hear those words from you. That's what your brother
I should be home. I should have never been here. I should have been home yesterday. But I need to be home now. And that's a reality. That's a fact.
And you know what makes
I'm ready to come home.
And you know what makes that a fact? And I'm going to say this. Because real selfish of us to have anything, cause me to have anything, go anywhere, say I'm anybody, be on anybody's news show, and then sit home and some of us, like myself, sit home and go, damn, my grandmother died while I was in prison, my brother died, my son died, I came home to less of my family. That was my family there. Now I'm gonna sit here and watch him die. It's more important for us to get to that point. You see what I'm saying? To that point that his mother is still here waiting for him to come home. What are you gonna do? Wait till after that? Did you see the brother the other day, 28 years in prison, and they making an issue, putting it in the paper, oh, he did 28 years and now he got his money a year later, but he died before he got it. We appreciate you. You know what I mean? Like, who appreciates that? What about now? Now, let's get him now. Let's get him now. We putting our word on our worth on it. Then you can hit us back and be like, Dime's a liar. John Ellis a liar. They're all liars. Look at what he did. That's what you would have said about Mac and a whole bunch of other brothers coming home. Nah. Fool, you didn't just create programs, you changed people. There's a difference. A lot of people out here creating programs and getting money for the program, but ain't no change people. I guarantee you, if I look it up today, probably was a shooting 2 days ago from damn near every community. Somebody got robbed, somebody got hurt. That ain't changing people. When's the last time somebody got killed at Norfolk? You been there how long? How long you been there now? We're going to get to it. I'll get to it with you. Now I'm questioning you. How long you been there?
2010.
Wiz is shouting you out. He said, what up? 2010, right? Any murders? This is 2000 going to 24. Any murders over there?
Nah.
Any guards stabbed up? Anybody hurt?
Nah, not like that.
Right. Just regular old prison fights that everybody expects, right? Nobody pulled out a knife or a razor.
Nah, nothing drastic.
Right, nothing drastic.
Nope.
Right. Nobody's pulled out a razor in there and went on a mass.
No race riots, right? None of that.
Right. So what I'm saying is environments hold down by most of what it got to push against what's going bad, right? Meaning you're in there, you're a spirit in there that is helping maintain that shit. Take you out of that Element and a bunch of brothers who do call my show and everything else we get from Sko on and made a lot of good tapes for me to put out. I just never did them. You know, that are saying, hey, listen, man, I went this way with him, and that way they brought me to this. Brothers got name changes, serious brothers. Brothers know that if most of us went back to jail and we was out here talking about who's the man, you would not be in that position if we were back in that prison system. You dig what I'm saying? That's the truth, right? There's the hierarchy, there's an order in everything in life. But right now, he's a part of that hierarchy. We trying to take the king and take his crown and give it to some clowns. We're trying to take his crown and give it to some clowns. I ain't willing to do that. Now, that would only affect somebody that would take his crown. Boom. Nobody deserves your crown. It took a long time to get that one stone in there. You feel me? Matter of fact, cost me electric shock because I was too close talking to it. Remember that? Right?
So, I didn't play the recording, so you might as well just do it live right now and share that story that you had recorded for Diamond.
Word, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead. He's waiting for you.
Nah, so this is a funny story for me that really speaks to Diamond's work ethic. So me and Diamond have figured out a way to get me into the unit that he was in A4 because I definitely wanted to be on the tier with him. And not only was we on the same tier, we was next to each other in the cell. And like the first night I was there, you know, we was talking through the doors and a few older brothers was like, yo, can y'all, you know, out of respect, not realizing we was up to like 12, 1 o'clock on the door, really talking about ideas. So we looked in the cell, we was like, yo, we got a socket in the cell. Like, let's try speaking through the socket. And every night we up 1, 2, 3 in the morning on this socket, like a plug-in socket, and we was building through a socket late night. He just knock on the wall, or I knock on the wall, and we just start communicating to the socket. So one night, we're going in on something, had to be some music stuff at that time. So saliva's coming out of my mouth, and I almost burnt my lip in the socket, because you got to speak close to it. And he told me, man, that ain't nothing. You know how many times I burned my lip on this socket? You know what I mean? Like, but we got to get to it. But that's what made me really appreciate his work ethic, because I'm someone that always went hard, but to have someone going hard with you and you see him going hard in his own space is always motivational. So that socket, every time I see a socket, it means a lot more to me than when I see it in the optics. It represents the time when, you know, me and Diamond, man, do it all. It could be a Wednesday night, Monday night, Thursday night. It didn't matter what night. We had to get to it. You know what I mean? And it's great to lean on somebody like that. But I think that's a great narrative and a microcosm of what our relationship has always been.
No, it is. And I challenge anybody in the world to say you might have talked through a hole, you might have talked through a door. I doubt you were talking through an electric shock socket. Now, if you want to test what we were going through, and I know I was going through it, I'm a fast talker, so I'm moving a lot. So you're going to get more energy, right? And we're talking, we have to get up on the socket to actually hear each other. So when, you know, if you're really rambling on like I do, my mouth is hitting it more than it should. But believe it or not, you don't know these little spits, or whatever you're working with is hitting electricity. It comes to you. You actually just plug yourself in. We would continue doing that. Like, I got an idea, right? It was humorous, but we built like that. When brothers didn't want to hear it out the door, then we were able to go back to the door. We could be up any time of night. It was like brothers were taking notes, writing it or something, right? We could do that. But we did. We did it the way we had to do it. But the point was, I said from the beginning, Fu, you didn't get to hear this, but this is true. I could count on him being receptive, no matter how I talk, how I present it. And I keep saying, damn, will somebody tell me? If I had any friends in jail, they should at least be able to answer this one. Yo, did I come and put on a new personality? Do I talk a new way? I don't think I ever changed. They built that in me. That was the only way to deliver the messages immediate. And he could carry it.
Nah, that just volumes, Fu, at least for me as an outsider looking in, the way that you looked up to Diamond and his work ethic and no excuses in making things happen is the way that a lot of brothers and sisters, a lot of us look at you now. As he said, he passed the baton to you, and now you're that person where we look at you like,
no, let me
say,
Jackie, let me say this. This is what only thing we have individual, right? He's not I don't create a person. I don't have anything to do with a person. All I can give is when I say I get hit with division, say I get on Facebook, right? And all of a sudden I'm going off about something. You'd be like, damn, I ain't seen this dude in a year, right? I'm only doing that because I see something happening that I'm like, damn, no matter how well I do, if I go away from the world, if I'm all the way in Spain, whatever the hell I do, my heart says constantly like, yo, I still keep up with Fu. You know what I mean? I still keep up with the brothers in there. My heart about being with them brothers don't be hurting me. Fu put together things. Shit, I was able to put together the dough to be able to do dude's Christmas up there. I don't even know from any gang, right? Fu organized it. You dig what I'm saying? I'm not just sitting back holding on to what I had and could get and might get in the future. I'm like, yo, I'm out here. This shit is more than we ever dreamed. You see what I'm saying? I'm focusing on running my mouth, but I can't finish the mission without him. That's the goal. Like, this has really happened. So if you don't believe, if you ever made work for me, if you ever made work for Sean, right, any of us, then come back to the root of where we all came from. Give us that. Because I guarantee you when you come back to the root, it's already active. Everything else is an mutation of that. That's it. That's what we gotta get. We need him. I need him. You know what I mean? Do great work with him so that way he can go ahead and translate to the world. You see what I'm saying? Don't be afraid of his language or go ahead, Fu.
Fu, you got 3 minutes.
I hear you.
So is there anything that you want to say as we wrap it up?
I love you too, bro. I want to make sure we always say that. We've been saying that since kid, and that's what it is.
I love you too, bro. The last thing I just want to say is, this isn't done, for today, man. You've been an instrumental person in so many different levels, man. And since you've been home, I got you on my pen, you know what I mean? And anything I needed, man, you've been there for me. And not having someone that was an older brother, man, that I can lean on this generally in my life. You filled that void, man, in spades. And I appreciate you profoundly. This isn't done just for today, just for the people to know, man. This is how we normally are. And you're never undervalued, bro. Just know, not only do I know you, everyone that knows me knows you. You know what I mean? And I always want you to know that.
Hey, bro, let me see, I'm going to keep this corrective thing. I want you to know what it is. I got older, man. You stopped leaning somewhere in 2005 when it got real serious with our vision, right? You don't lean. There's been times, man, you helped carry me. You got to keep that in mind. You can't carry shit you lean on. Your legs are strong enough. Come for it all. Let's just go for it all. All we got to do is tell you the truth. Your truth going to lead to all truth. Let's deal with that and get you home. Shout out, son.
Peace. I love you, man. Peace.
Love you, too. Be easy there. Call me later anyway. You know that.
No, I got you.
Yeah. Much love. Talk to the people. Tell them you want to come home again. I need these clips.
What happened?
Tell them you want to come home. I need these clips. Don't matter what they're thinking because they ain't thinking enough to help yet. So the people that want to help are finally here. Tell them you want to come home. Tell them your mama's out here. Your sister's out here. You know what I mean? Tell them the last of you is out here. Tell them that. I couldn't tell them that, bro. They wouldn't hear me. You feel him though, right?
Fu?
No, it's not that he's not saying it. I know Fu. He's feeling that. See, when you got to sit there, right? When you got to sit there and feel that conversation and then know the realities and know like, yo, I'm not even there to show my face, but they're talking about me. That shit, you can feel it. Y'all couldn't feel it. You couldn't expect that his response. His response should have been your answer immediately. Like, yo, he's a great talker. He's a great communicator. He heard what he said. Why ain't he communicating that? Because that's called feelings, and y'all done lost them out here. I'll say it for you. You need to come home, bro. Your mama's home. He need to be with his mama. How about that? Give him that. You got this many years out of him, 27, 28. How about now giving him to his mama? You have 1 minute left.
Nah, I heard you, bro, loud and clear. Like you said, a lot of people see, like, the bright spots in me, man. And for this minute close, like, my mother goes through a lot. My sisters goes through a lot. And, not being there for those I love the most is probably the most, profound sense of pain that I feel. So I'm not someone that's a warrior. I'm a warrior, so we work through it. But it always hurts. You know what I mean? I'm an asset in my family and in my household, man. So not to be there as they're going through ups and downs definitely impacts me profoundly. I just take that energy inward, man, and put it into the work. So it is a real life, it is a real testimony, and it is a real journey. You know what I mean? There's nothing glib about it. And that full story will be told, but for the most part, people got to understand that this is real, and people's lives are being compromised by me just physically being in here. But with that said, peace. I'll reach out soon.
Thank you for using Securus. Goodbye.
Yeah, cut them out. Cut them out. It won't nothing to do with Securus. Securus is money stealers. But go ahead. You know.
That's what it is. We're gonna wrap it up because the live is gonna end shortly. But we want to thank you, Diamond, for keeping it real, coming on here, making time to build with us, to build with Fu. I'm glad that he had an opportunity to call in, and like you said, he's gonna go right back to work. He's gonna go right back to his meetings. He's coming from Second Thoughts meeting today, where they mentor the youth in DYS.
He's been doing this. He's been doing this. He's been doing this longer than you have some of the pastors you have that you sitting in their church believing in.
Fact.
He's been doing it that long. You understand? Before a lot of your leaders that you're believing in right now were coming to see him to get that information. We were there. They were coming to see us. They were seeing him. They were asking for it. And any leader, anybody out here doing the bill, anything else that don't want to tell that truth, you didn't let us wrong. You didn't capitalize off us. Do your homework, media. I'm coming for you. Food part of it. I'm coming for you. Bump that radio. I'm coming for you. You might even do a show tonight. You know what, Jackie? Me, you might jump on there tonight. What time is it?
Yeah, it's Friday night. That's your night.
Friday night. See me and Jackie about 8. We're gonna play some music. We're just gonna do what we do. If you ain't familiar, we're gonna get you familiar. But real talk. Take that moment and give me that clip. Give me the clip when he said it, and give us the clip of the silence, and then put those together and go, yo, we trying to silence something even deeper than the Martin Luther King and Malcolm. Those are all monuments. You made monuments out of there. He's a living monument. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah.
Don't worry about who's saying it, who's delivering it. Worry about if it's true. Find the leader, anybody that you know that does the work you believe, do the work, and then say, hey, are they telling the truth? That might save your kids. That might show you a lot of things that did save kids a while back, and that might actually compliment some of the brothers who came out here, who are part of this video, who put this work in. Maybe we might rise them back up to remember they did that work and see themselves in that bullying video and be able to say, we coordinated, we did that, and be able to say, you know what, collectively, we're good, and we out here in the world, because a lot of brothers are out here, right? Individually, we got things. When we get in that casket, we by ourselves. I don't think we went through the worst times by ourselves or with things. I don't remember Apple doing S in prison if you like, this will help you get through. I don't remember the phone. I don't remember Benjamin Franklin doing much other than help me get that money back to get canteen, right? I don't remember for years and years being in no cars, or none of that made us. So even when we get that, that's like an imitation of us. We don't get to be us. Let him be him. We're coming for him anyway. Hashtag free FuQuan, right? Plus, we got enough gods. Come on, to God. I'm not really even worried about it. God's on his side. You know what I mean? You don't just got his God brothers, man. He got dudes who know the truth. They ain't trying to go to the casket with this lie. Oh, they'll push it long. We got dudes that know the truth. Your soul gonna eat you out. Mine would. It does. No matter how fly I get, it's gonna eat my soul out. I think I'm gonna try to preserve that. You know what I mean? Let's just get him.
Thank you, Diamond. But if you're watching, follow at Free FuQuan to learn more about FuQuan and why we're advocating so hard for his freedom. Follow Diamond at diamond.darrell on Instagram and Darrell Jones on Facebook. And tune in tonight to Bump That Radio, where Diamond's going to be doing his ones and twos, giving us some music and some real talk at the same time.
Yeah, Jackie, talk about that. Jackie, just real quick, right?
Yep.
Just when you said the last part there before the Bump the Radio, just know, I don't know nothing about Instagram. I wasn't using my Facebook, Instagram, all that. Jackie got me active. So
thank you.
You know what I mean? So I'm learning. I'm coming back for this. This is the most important thing to me. I'm coming back to be like, we're going to put the truth out. Respect.
Nah, we appreciate you for doing that. Thank you so much, Diamond. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll build soon, all right?
Peace, sis. Respect.